Black Clover Chapter 332, and yes, as you see on the title, these are predictions. And today I thought that we should switch things up because Black Clover currently right now is on a break and it's not going to come back until 2 months from now. And as we wait for these chapters to come out, I thought it'd be fun to make a video and discuss the possible things that can happen next chapter. Because there's a lot of things that can happen next. Like the next thing you can do is subscribe to the channel with notification bells on and leave a like on the video, because those things are possible as well. Now, from what we gathered from last chapter, a lot of things were exposed to us. The biggest reveal was the entire Julius situation. Damnatio finding out that Megicula is not a clipped off devil was a big deal because Astaroth the Time Devil vanished from the underworld, which led to Megicula taking Astaroth's place. However, we don't know exactly how Astaroth vanished from the underworld, but the fact that Astaroth has time magic and Julius is the only person throughout history that has time magic as well, Damnatio put 2 and 2 together. And Julius even confirmed this because he's like, it's me, even though he was scared to say it, almost like he was shocked that he just figured everything out as well. And that's when the whole Lucius situation happened, that Lucius been inside Julius' body the entire time. Which I did make a video explaining how Lucius was inside Julius' body. It's a theory. If you guys have missed that, you should go check it out because it will explain everything. And then we discovered that Malik went to the Clover Kingdom with Lucifero's heart, and clearly him and Lucius are planning something with Lucifero's heart, but I will say that for a whole different video. But I think that this reveal was so huge that I think that a lot of people have overlooked the fact that Lucius took out Damnatio. And of course, this has nothing to do with Damnatio's power that he was taken out, because he's not a magic knight. It's the fact that his status and his importance and his role in the Clover Kingdom is going to be so significant next chapter, knowing the fact that he is gone. Not sure if he's dead or not, wouldn't be surprised if he is, but the reason why him being taken out is so important because he is the chairman of the magic parliament of the entire country, and he's a nobleman. He's a Kira. He's related to the king of the Clover Kingdom. This is a huge political power move by Lucius, which I think will be elaborated on next chapter if it goes that route. So yeah, big political move by Lucius here, but the biggest one, of course, is taking over Julius' body, the Wizard King, because let's be honest, Julius is way more important and people view him as the actual king and respect him more than Augustus Clover. Even Augustus knows this, which is why we see throughout the series that Augustus Clover is extremely jealous of Julius. But this is a really bad thing for the Clover Kingdom because of the public reactions. Because when Julius was fighting the ancient demon and became a kid in front of everyone, the citizens reacted in a shocking way. And Julius, in this child form, he tried to hide that from the public because he already explained before the time skip. In chapter 215, he talked about that his influence will weaken with the hardline monarchist nobles and that he lost all his magic. And we know that as a Wizard King, you need to be strong because that's how people perceive the Wizard King to be. They need to know that they are safe and protected, not knowing that they are protected by a child. This is why we saw in the anime that Julius had Owen pretend to be him, because the influence of the people will weaken. The citizens will not feel protected if someone else came in to invade their country when their Wizard King is a child. In my last video, I showed you guys that Tabata is hinting that Lucius is the ultimate Wizard King because when Lucius showed himself, the chapter ends off with that quote, the ultimate Wizard King. So with Lucius taking out Julius' body, he is now in a position to be this ultimate Wizard King because who else will oppose to him? You will have magic knights that will deny it and also citizens, but Lucius is in a position that he can now run this entire country. The Clover Kingdom is already in a tough situation to rebuild because of what happened in the Elf arc. But we also saw that there are organizations of people that are trying to take out the king of the Clover Kingdom. Obviously, not everyone is aligned with one another. It's clear as day that the Clover Kingdom is extremely divided, which can cause a civil war in this final arc, with Lucius being the catalyst for it because we know that he's going to take over the throne, so Augustus Clover probably should leave out of there as soon as possible. So I believe that the next chapter is possible that Tabata will focus on the political structure of this entire situation. And I think it's not too far-fetched to say that we're going to see Marx in the next chapter because we know his bond and his closeness to Julius. They're almost like best friends. Every time something happened in a story to Julius, Tabata showed us Marx's reaction because of his bond that he has with him. And Marx has a huge political role within the story, so I think that it's fair to say that he will be involved next chapter if Tabata was to go the political route. Now, I know that the speculations and theories that everyone has about Marx because now anyone can be suspicious or spy in in the Clover Kingdom. I know a lot of people have been theorizing that Marx could be some sort of spy for Lucius in a Dark Triad, because we know that Marx has memory magic. So what if it's possible that he's been brainwashing Julius and taking away his memories from what happened to him and his connection with Lucius and how Lucius took over his body? They've been manipulating Julius. He's been the puppeteer. Because Yami explained by getting hit by Marx magic when he shoots out those memory arrows, it can erase your most recent memories. And we know that Marx has that ability to just erase and brainwash somebody. So if Marx turned out to be a spy and we found that out next chapter, it would make sense, because the way his magic works, he has the perfect abilities for an assassin, for a spy. But at the same time, I'm not going to bank on it because I don't see Marx being evil, but there are so many unpredictable twists that has happened in Black Clover that none of us saw coming. So I don't want to rule out the idea, because this is a good discussion for the community if Marx was to be a spy. I think it's a perfect time in the story to second guess everyone and everything. Lucius being inside Julius and also having the Time Devil made us all question what was really going on behind the scenes this entire arc. Because during this entire arc, Tabata has been heavily focusing on the clock tower, and throughout the chapters, the time has not been consistent. Sometimes it will fast forward or it will go back, and the connection of time magic with Julius and also Astaroth being a time devil, a lot of people believe that time has been manipulated by Lucius, and time has been rewired by Lucius, all in favor for Asta and the others to defeat the devils and Lucifero so they can grab Lucifero's heart. So if that were to be true, I can see that definitely being hinted next chapter, because Lucifero's heart is now in the possession of Adramatick and Lucius. So I think it's very likely that we see some dialogue talking about Lucifero's heart, because they are clearly planning to do something with it. Now, things can go either way when it comes to Asta and the gang. We may see them or we may not see them, and they will just be focusing on the events that are happening in the Clover Kingdom. The reason why I say that, because we know that the Black Clover chapters are not that long to begin with, but if we do see them, it can go two ways. It will be some typical Black Clover humor dialogue between everyone, or the Dryad might show up to explain what is happening in the Clover Kingdom, because she has the gift of prophecy and future sight. She even knew that the gates of the underworld were going to be open and the devils are going to flood out. I think that is the way that everyone can find out what is happening in the Clover Kingdom. Or one of the Magic Knights can use a little magic FaceTime and alert everyone, just like how Marx did when Julius was fighting Patris. So we might see Asta's and everyone's reaction when they find out about the Clover Kingdom is in a disarray at the moment. Which, if that was to happen next chapter, I think is going to be hype, because we're going to see Asta and everyone ready, and they're trying to get there as fast as possible, which could lead into the biggest fight in Black Clover. But I don't think that this is going to be a fighting chapter. I'll be very surprised if next chapter is going to be a fighting chapter, but this can lead into Asta's biggest fight yet. I don't think the next chapter is going to be an Asta focused chapter. I don't see that. But if we get to see Asta's reaction next chapter and finding out what's happening in the Clover Kingdom, Asta is going to be so determined to get stronger than he is already. Eventually in this arc, we're going to see him master his true Devil Union form, which makes sense because this is the final arc. The characters are going to enter their final stage of their powers. Overall, I'm excited to see what's going to happen next chapter, what will transpire there, because it can be something completely different that wasn't discussed in this video. Overall, you guys comment below and tell me your thoughts on what you believe is going to happen next chapter, because I'm really excited for it, even though it's like 2 months away. But, you know, I think next chapter is going to be a really fun one. But you guys let me know what you think about this video. Also leave a like on it, subscribe if you are new, check out my other anime and manga content. You guys have an awesome life, take care of yourselves, stay blessed, and I'm out.